So you've seen all the cool videos that everyone is making with AI and you want to try it out. You have an idea and you want to get started. A common way to begin is to subscribe to a website that offers all the models so you don't have to pick just one. But all of these aggregators out there have their own credit systems and a bunch of different subscription tiers. So which one do you need? How many credits will it take and how much is this going to cost? Well, I've got a tool to help you figure it out. Let's take a look at my AI video budget calculator. Hey, I'm Brian Dean, and I've worked at some big studios on some big films for about 20 years. And in all that time, I never once had to think about the budget. That was somebody else's job. I just lit the shots, and somebody else worried about what it cost. Now that I'm working independently, I need to think about the numbers. When I started my first AI video project, I did what most people do. I signed up, I got some credits, and I started generating videos. Then, before I knew it, my credits were gone. And my project wasn't finished yet, so I did what most people would probably do. I bought more. But that can be a trap where you just keep replenishing your credits, and before you know it, you've spent hundreds of dollars. And then you realize that it might have been more cost-effective to buy one of those higher subscription tiers from the beginning. Now, there are a lot of plans out there, and knowing which one to get is kind of hard if you don't know the budget for the project you're trying to make. So I had Claude help me build a calculator to help me figure this out. It gets you in the ballpark. It's not going to give you an exact number. You enter in the different variables for your project, and it will help you figure out the budget for the AI short or film or whatever it is that you're trying to make. From there, you'll have a better idea of what subscription tier will best suit your project. So let's take a look at how the calculator works. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to enter is the length of your project here, the length of your short or whatever it is that you're going to make. Again, just looking for a ballpark here. Is it going to be It's going to be 1 minute. Is it going to be 20 minutes? You can enter this in seconds or in minutes here. There are some presets, but you can also just change this to whatever you want here. We're going to say for the purposes of this example, we're going to say it's going to be 3 minutes. Next, we're going to want average shot length. So this is roughly based on the type of short you're going to be making. So things that are higher action tend to be cut quicker. The shots are going to be shorter in length. More dramatic projects are going to have longer takes. And we've got some presets here to use as a baseline. Action will have a preset of 4 seconds, drama 8, dialogue 12, and long takes will give you the full 15 seconds. Now, once Seedance 2.5 comes out, you will be able to go beyond that up to 30. So this does extend up to 30 seconds, but currently that's the limit of what models are going to be able to support. So for the purposes of this example, we'll just say it's going to be kind of a fast-paced action project. So for right now, we've got a length of 3 minutes. It's going to be an action short, so the average shot length will be 4 seconds. Okay, now we're going to skip down to the section down here, this Your Plan section. Here we're going to enter in how many credits you get and how much that costs you for your subscription. If you have a subscription, you just enter those numbers here. If you're planning on buying a subscription, you can try the various different numbers you have here to see how they will work out. For this example, we'll just use Higgsfield and we'll just go to their plans that we have here. We'll have this on annual. And we'll just say that we're going to grab this Ultra plan that costs $99 per month, and it gives you 3,000 credits. So in our calculator, we're going to enter in 3,000 credits at $99 per month. Now, once we have that in, we're going to jump back up here to our credits per second for our model. And again, this is something you're going to have to figure out and determine based on what your plan is and how much they charge for each of the various different models. You'll have to decide what model you're going to use, whether you're going to use Kling 3 or Seedance 2 or Seedance 2 Fast or whatever it is you're going to use. They all have a slightly different price. And unfortunately, you're just going to have to go to the whatever aggregator you're using or whatever service you plan on using and just see what the costs are that they are charging you. Now, again, to use Higgsfield as an example, they do have a credit breakdown here. So for instance, if you wanted to use Kling 3.0 at 4K, that is 30 credits for 5 seconds. If you wanted to use Seedance 2.0 at 4K, that is 110 credits for 5 seconds. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to show you what my video generations cost. So if I go into my video generation tab here, I can just set my model to Seedance 2.0. We'll set the duration to 10 seconds. That's going to make the math a little bit easier, and we're going to use 1080p. And we see that this is going to cost me 90 credits, which means my cost is going to be 9 credits per second using Seedance 2.0 at 1080p. If I hop back into my calculator, I'm just going to drop that number in, 9 credits per second. And now we start to get some numbers here. So if I just kind of zoom out a little here. So now we're going to start to get some numbers, and we'll see that it will cost 2,025 credits. It'll cost $66.83. Now the last number that we have to enter here is the number that matters. This is the average generations per shot. Now obviously this is going to hugely influence the cost, as every new generation costs more credits. And if you're curious as to how many generations you're going to need, we can just hop on down here to our kind of estimate here. Optimistic is roughly, again, these are averages, is roughly 1.5 takes per shot. That's getting very, very lucky. That's almost never going to happen. Then realistically, you're probably going to have to generate about 5 takes per shot to get what you want. To get final cut and polish, again, now we're going to jump up to about 8 takes per shot. And if we look down here, we have the hell grind setting, and that is 64 takes. Now, the reason why this is here is because Higgsfield made a feature called hell grind. They generated it with Seedance 2.0, and they said that there were some generations, there were some shots that hit 64 generations, 64 takes before the shot was finaled. Now, again, that's an extreme number, but it's just here for reference. For the purposes of this example, let's just assume we're going to be somewhere in the normal range. We're going to be at about 5 takes per shot. So we'll just enter in 5 takes per shot. And now we get our final budget number. It's going to take 10,125 credits. It's going to cost $334. And what does this number here? It says 4 months. Well, what does that mean? What that means is that if you are relying on your subscription credits and you're not going to buy more credits, you're simply going to rely on the credits that you get for your subscription, it's going to take you 4 months to finish this project. Once you deplete your credits, you're going to have to wait for the following month for them to replenish, and then you can begin working again. So that will give you 4 months of time based on the plan that you have bought. Now, if we go down here, there is the option to add more credits. And again, you're going to have to go to whatever site you plan on using, whatever service you're going to use, and see how much they're going to charge you for extra credit. So again, for the purposes of this example, we're going to use Higgsfield, and we can see here what our extra credits are going to cost. Now, according to our calculations, if we wanted to get this done within 1 month, we're going to be short 7,125 credits. So we can just see how much that is going to cost us. We'll have to buy an extra 9,000 credits here, or we could buy the 7,000 plus another 500 here for another $26. Again, you'll have to just see what the offer is depending on the service that you're using to see how much these extra credits are going to cost you. But again, that's what the calculator is for, to kind of see where you're falling, if you're going to have what you need, and if you don't, then you can go to the service that you're using and figure out how much it will cost you to make up the difference. So that's the basic rundown of the calculator. Again, these are just estimates. This isn't going to give you the exact cost of the project that you're going to make. You're basically using this as a baseline to kind of see ballpark, are you in the range of what you need, or are you going to need a lot more or a lot less? It's just going to help you kind of set a budget as far as how much money you're going to need, how many credits you might need, and then how much time it might take you to get this done if you're relying on just whatever credits that you get with the subscription. Now, the one thing that is not in here is image generation. Now, image generation is a big part of your video generation because your video generations rely heavily on the images that are generated. You're going to be generating images or get some kind of image that is going to be the start frame for your video, or in some cases you'll be generating character sheets or reference sheets for the various different actors or characters or props or locations, and you will have to feed those into the model so that it knows what the various different characters or actors look like, or what different props look like, different locations, so that it can maintain consistency across the various different shots. Now, the reason why I don't have that in here is because that, for me, just seems like it's way too hard to calculate. It really depends on a lot of things that are just too hard to lock down. And my advice would be to get a plan that covers unlimited generations. Now, I was lucky enough when I signed up for my plan, I got 365 days of Nano Banana Pro. So my generations are covered under that. If you can get a plan like that, that is absolutely worth it. Higgsfield does offer the ability to buy unlimited generations for a limited amount of time. So before you get to your video phase, I would make sure that all your image generations are done, and I would get some kind of unlimited plan to get those taken care of. And once again, to use Higgsfield as an example, they do have offers for unlimited models. And if we need to get an unlimited image generation plan, we can see that we've got some options here. Now, let's say we want to use Nano Banana Pro. So we can simply select this, and this will give us our options for unlimited Nano Banana Pro generations. We could go up to 4K, and then we can determine how long we're going to want this. If we think we can get everything done in a day, we could just buy the 1-day package for $7, and we get unlimited generations. Now, the one thing to keep in mind here is that it does say only 2 concurrent generations at a time. That means you can only be generating 2 images at a time. So that will kind of slow you down as to how many generations you can get done in the course of a day. But there is this option to buy unlimited image generation, and I would highly recommend doing this for the project that you're going to do, whatever it is that you're going to be making. I would definitely try to get an unlimited image generation plan to get those images done and locked down so that you're not burning credits and you get to save those credits for the video generation. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys found this useful. If you have any suggestions for the tool, you can drop them in the comments down below. I'll try and maintain it or update it if I find new features that I think would be helpful. And if you did find this helpful, if you like this video, then please like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Okay, back to work on our short. No more procrastinating. Come on, let's go.